Hari Om. So 270 of the Holy Gita. Apuyamanam achala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti yedvat yedvat kamam ye pravishanti sarve sashantimapnoti na kamakami. So, to continue with, Nakamakami is the one which to go deep into our skull. So it speaks about the person who can be peaceful and who has peace. Who will have peace? One whose desires are submerged. How? How should they get submerged or merged or entered? As all the waters, all through, they enter the ocean. This analogy is very, very important. Which filled from all the directions. And how does the ocean remain with all gushing of water of all the rivers? It remains unaltered. So, if we can culminate all our desires into our own self, and if we can say stay still, then we are at peace. But not one whose desires of objects are still alive. Whosoever has desires, he can never be peaceful. Impossible. I know a person, basically a good man, but maybe people around or circumstances or whatever it is, how they play on the human mind is very, very important. The problem is we harbor our mind with unwanted talks and suggestions of people, or we let out our minds for unwanted advices, then it happens. Oh, some people by nature they'll be crooked. We can't help that. Shishupala, example. He was really thriving well when he had a very able hand. And we don't know what, as it goes, Vinasha Kale Viparita Buddhihi. So, as the saying goes, when time comes like that, even the most wise becomes like that. Nothing can be done. In the greed of money, they faltered on values. And then what happened? It started to crumble. The organization which had around 1,400 clients has come down to 650 clients. And even now they don't understand. The piteous part is, even now they don't understand. Always remember, the more you give, the more you get. If you want more, you will not get. If one is desirous of owning everything, initially, yes, he might made a lot of what do you call money eating on others, what do you call assets, or what is due to others, argue something, speak something, grab their money in any way, everywhere. Wherever I tell you, he's like Basmaswar. Wherever he keeps his hand, Damal. Doesn't have a static, good, long lasting friend or business partners. That speaks of if one or two change, then you can definitely understand other person. If all are saying like that, then we have to be cautious. We have to think. Oh, with one brother, one cannot get along. Look at the amount of ego that one has. How can there be peace? Pseudo peace will be a pseudo peace, a hypocritical peace, an artificial peace. On the faces they may smile, hey, 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 but only deep inside they know. At times, people are so moronic that they'll be boiling inside, but they are not aware of that because mind has become so tamasic, so gross, that they're unable to understand their own mind and the subtler layers of the mind and the deeper layers of the mind. Oh, such people are desirous of other things. I tell you, you fast, no problem, but see to it the other person is happy. At least the other person is due whatever is there. Just pay the dues to them. That is happy. For me, my son, I need a car, and to go 500 meters, my son has to drive a car. And when it comes to wages for others, I say there is no money. What is the logic here? They may not speak because they have to live. But in their hearts, in their minds, what will the feeling be? They'll be cursing you every moment. And won't that curse hit you? Think. If not today, tomorrow, if not tomorrow, after sometime, if not after some time, after a decade, if not after a decade, in the next birth, if not next birth, after 100 births, one has to suffer. No doubt of it. The best example is Bhishma. Why should such a virtuous man who has sacrificed everything and all that he has done is to protect the kingdom? Why should he suffer like that, sleep on the bed of arrows, getting poked for so many days? Not in this birth or in the previous birth. Lord Krishna shows him the darshan. 100 births pass, is exemplarily good. 101st birth in a chronological reverse order. There he was a young boy, a son of a Mahut. And you know, these Mahuts, they have a piercing tool in their hand. We call it as Ankusham in our regional language. And he was sitting on that big elephant and he was going with arrogance and pride. As a young boy, he doesn't know actually, that is not arrogance. He sees something and he sees an animal on a tree, a reptile on a tree, and with this he pokes it. An animal gets stuck to this spear of his. He sees that and he whips it off, and this reptile goes and falls on a bush of thorns and gets poked and it dies. 101 years, 101 births back, what he had done has come now. Nobody can escape karma. Therefore, our system says do good, be good. Remember, what you give, you get back. If you eat others, you are out. Live and let live should be the principle. We always feel I should live, I should be good, my wife should be good, my child should be good. 20 years back, I promised my wife that she will have a car, and to prove that, we do all sorts of nonsense and nuisance. Yes, you have achieved your dream, but what is the process that after it? How many souls you have hurt? How many beings you have squeezed? How many stomachs you have hit? Think. Be loyal, be good. Let all the desires can be there, but the means to fulfill the desire should be righteous and should be honest. Always have this thumb line: give more than what we take. That should be the hallmark. All will be good. So, who will attain peace? A person attains peace in whom the desires of objects doesn't exist, or the desires enters into him as the water enters into the ocean, without altering the ocean, without altering the consciousness, without altering the state of mind, without making one passionate, greed, without making one lose temper, balance, without making one to take unlawful steps, as the saying goes, beg, borrow, or steal. I have to build my house, and anyway, hook or crook, hit or cake, take 50,000 from 10 members in illicit manners, or by threatening, or by smart, whatever it is, and you build that house. There will not be peace in that house. Be lawful and be content. Then there is peace. Peace is within us, my dear friends, not in objects. So, with this, for today, we will just give a pause and it continues. Krishnam Vande Jagat Gurum.